A lot of families get screwed up by people not only doing bad things, but telling fibs. Telling fibs about why things happened, what the impact was. And the more and more they tell their lies, the more truthful they become. This film is about that. Shirley MacLaine, Toni Collette, and Cameron Diaz in the 2005 film In Her Shoes. At the root of it is a family lie and undoing what had become truth. There's always hope. There's always hope a family can come back together. But it takes some kind of, usually a crisis or some kind of event to prompt discussion and undoing the lies. It should happen, shouldn't it? This is a cool trailer. It tells story behind the film. This one has more than the usual content by the non-actors and actresses. It's got casting director, the director, the producer. They go a little in depth here, and it's mostly about Shirley, who's surely one of our best ever.
Good casting makes a film.
Casting is everything.
You are putting together a family, and I think the engineering of that is a really delicate task.
Casting was a difficult mission.
It's an arduous task. It's the hardest part of making a film.
It's a never-ending struggle, and that's the beauty of it.
Those decisions are the most critical decisions you can make.
Action camera.
Shoes like these should not be locked in a closet. You should be living a life of scandal and passion.
In Her Shoes is a story about two sisters. Maggie is beautiful but thinks she's dumb. Rose is an overachiever and thinks she's homely.
It's about family, it's about relationships, it's about being emotionally vulnerable.
Toni Collette plays Rose, Maggie's older sister, a lawyer whose life is made up of, as she puts it, of working hard, finding love in the pages of romance novels, and planning vacations she never takes.
It's a story about dysfunction and all those things that are relevant in everyone's life.
Cameron Diaz plays Maggie, who has been allowed to cruise through life based on her good looks, but who's racked with self-doubt and jealous of her sister. Shirley MacLaine plays Ella, the grandmother that Rose and Maggie never knew they had.
They have to come together finally as estranged people who suddenly realize that they were meant for each other.
Maggie, Rose, and Ella are all haunted by the past, and of course they all have their own perception of it.
Oh, engaged?
What?
Because of the nature of this piece and the need for two sisters to really connect in a profound way, casting is critical.
To me, there's nobody else who could play these parts. You know, as soon as Toni Collette's name came up, I was like, well, there's just really, I won't make the movie with anybody else, you know? I'll let you do my resume if you let me do your makeup.
Forget it.
Toni came in and read with Cameron. She is an actress of tremendous breadth. She's a leading lady and a character actress all rolled into one.
I can't take this anymore, Maggie. I can't. I want you out. Now.
Toni's perfect. She's exactly who you want to see in that part.
This wonderful actress who can give you so much emotionally, and who's smart, who also could be Cameron's sister.
Toni's awesome. I felt a kinship to her, definitely.
Yeah, it was fun and it was intense and it was kind of just satisfying in so many different ways.
When Toni walked in the door, she looked svelte and gorgeous, and she'd been surfing in Australia, and she was amazing.
But we needed an actress who was of a certain size.
We had to convince Toni that she would need to gain a significant amount of weight for a role, which I think is something she was very reluctant to do.
Eating myself into ill health, I could have made a documentary of my own. Rose doesn't have a very great sense of self and has quite a low self-esteem. I had to kind of blow my body up a little to match that physically.
but she is a chameleon, and that's what's extraordinary about her as an actress. She can really adapt to whatever part she's playing.
I think the strength of the material rules the day for an actress like that. And I think that decisions based on cosmetics have much less weight when you're talking about an actress of this caliber.
And lo and behold, she accomplished it, and we were really thrilled.
I'm never doing it again. It's too hard. It was fun, but there were times where it was just like, oh, this is too much, and a lot of sugar doesn't really work well for my mind.
Let's go pick out an outfit for inspiration. Shoes. I don't have shoes.
We were so fortunate because we had Cameron, and there was nobody we could think of who we would rather have had play Maggie.
Curtis grounded me completely. I have a tendency to be up here all the time, and he's like, shh, come on.
I saw the opportunity for Cameron to play a character in some ways closer to what I imagined the real Cameron is, and yet to go places that I had never seen her go. It was very exciting, the prospect of her playing this part.
One thing that I always look for in a casting assignment is that if there is an actor attached, that person be the right person for that job, because if not, you spend a lot of your time fixing the initial mistake in the casting. And in this particular case, we were golden, because Cameron Diaz is ideally suited to this role.
She's incredibly open, you know, and it just made it really easy to access whatever needed accessing.
I guess after being absent for some 20-odd years or so, I can't expect you to want to have a relationship with me. How much?
How much what?
Money, Maggie. How much money were you hoping to get from me?
It's always part of my process to think of actors in fresh ways.
I know that casting to a character can be devastatingly cliche, and casting against character like they did with me in this, if it works, nothing like it.
You are using an actor to play a role that is different from the context in which they're usually seen.
Shirley is such a powerful personality and powerful actress, and it was exciting, the idea of having her play this character who is repressed, who is shut down.
Shirley's been a spitfire from the very first time she appeared on film. She's somebody who shakes things up as opposed to glues things together.
Sit down, girls. I've got some things here I thought you might like to see. I was the diplomat who was trying to bring everybody together. I don't usually do that.
What could be more exciting than seeing Shirley MacLaine hide that personality and yet still see little flashes of it, flashes of intensity at the moments where it's called for? It's very different than anything Shirley's done because she is asked to almost hide her personality.
And that's, I think, what makes that performance so fantastic.
Shirley's awesome. She's such a dynamic personality and so great to be around.
Does this place have a pool?
This place just keeps getting better and better.
It's a film that was blessed in many ways.
We had just amazing luck.
These women are wonderful.
When you like the people you're working with and you're, you know, on the same page and you're collaborating well and it's all going smoothly, that's certainly much better than having to fight a battle every day.
What the actor does is so miraculous and so fearless when they're trusting the fearlessness with which they go out and appear naked, literally in front of the world, emotionally naked. It's something that I could never do.
I think I've come away from this job with a handful of good friends, which is not always the case.
What more can a director ask for than that?
Thanks for watching Cleveland Live Music. It's awfully bright out here. I'd click on another one of my videos. Quit looking into the sun. Your mother told you not to do that. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel more, there's GoFundMe and Patreon information in the video descriptions. Ooh, ooh!